And we're back with me, Johnny McMurray, on the On the Spot Football Podcast with yet another fantastic guest, a Linfield legend, one in the long line of David Jeffrey's love children, Michael Gault. How are you?
Good, Johnny. Good to be here.
Good. It's good to have you on. Thank you for, well, it was very late notice actually for you coming in yesterday and taking that tax, but I really appreciate you coming down.
No worries at all.
Nice, thanks.
Good. We'll say busy, but most people who listen probably say he's not. I'm off of school for the summer anyway, which has been a long, hard year, and obviously had twins there last January, so that keeps us very, very occupied, Bobby and Gracie. So we're up to Haydo with them, but they're brilliant and doing very well, and actually back in training tomorrow night. The pre-season starts again, so the football's all starting back again. And obviously my other job, financial advisor as well, so working for...
That's why you brought the laptop here tonight, that's man stuck here at 12 o'clock.
That's why I'm here.
Commission-based work.
Win-win situation here, so...
Anybody who wants life insurance, get on to Michael Gault, he'll sort you out.
100%, so busy enough now, but I'm glad the school's over for the summer anyway.
Are you kind of looking forward to getting back into pre-season, or would you love a wee couple of weeks off?
Maybe a couple more weeks off now, because again it's going to be 10-11 month season, so I've been doing it since the age of 16 or 17, so I'm still doing it now at 42, so...
Grey hairs are creeping in there, Michael, down.
I'm getting more and more. I got a few more on the drive way up here. The last few drives to Ballymena give me extra grey hairs under Big Davy, but no, it's... I'm in football because I enjoy it. It's not about the money and all now, but football with me, I really, really enjoy it, so it'd be... It's a late night to get a bit of a break from it, but yeah, we're starting back in tomorrow night, and we've got an exceptional group of young players there, so looking to help them again this season, see how we go.
So you're currently the under-20s manager at Linfield, have been for a couple of years?
Yeah, under-20s. I still call Linfield Swifts. It's always been under me, but the league's changed, and under-20s development league, and it's really different from when I played. And I was 16, 17 playing for Linfield Swifts. I was playing against reserve teams full of men, basically, a lot of times, so I think obviously got a lot from that there to go into the first team myself, but now it's a very, very young league. Brilliant technical players and other players going across the water, but it's very, very young, and on the odd occasion when a team would drop down first team players, it's sort of men against boys. The old saying, it is men against boys at times, a bit frustrating, but obviously teams need players to get first team players up to full speed or come back from injuries and getting in games. I think at Linfield and Glentour and Larnax, the full-time clubs, is a bit different because the players will be training in the full-time environment all week, so as opposed to maybe doing a hard session on the Monday, as opposed to maybe playing a match on Monday night against young kids, so to speak. So I think we'll tend to stay and train with the squad as opposed to playing matches. So at times it's difficult, but yeah, it's enjoyable, and the rewards we get from seeing the kids going the first team or across the water is brilliant. That's why you do it.
How would you classify that now compared to when you were back in the day? Like, I know you've touched on now that you played with men, more adults based, it was more physical, more competitive. Yeah. Do you think that that's something that needs to be changed?
I think there's talk of it being changed now. I think I'm speaking like Zandy Waterworth and Chris Lindsay. There's going to be some sort of change of format in the league. I can't remember what it is. Maybe I think it just knocked off maybe, but yeah, I think they're going to go back to that there, maybe playing against more senior teams and men's teams. I think that's going to be the plan down the line. Not too sure when it's going to be implemented, but that's something, personally speaking, I got a lot. At the time I didn't realise playing against men, didn't really think too much of it, but it did make me a better player and more adaptable into the first team. We have some players that are exceptional, whether they're ready to go into the first team now because I haven't really played against senior opposition on a regular basis, so they're maybe a bit far behind. So again, actually I was talking to Paul McAree even way up in the car about different things. So me and Paul argue over everything, so I didn't know who was right or who was wrong about the young boys at 17, 18 playing against men regularly. In my eyes, if they're good enough, 16, 17, 18, they go towards our first team and they'll stay there and play there. So some go out. There was two examples. I think it was Trey Hume, obviously he went out on loan from Linfield, but he went to Ballymena.
He went to Ballymena,
Premier Division team. Trey was always going to make it a brilliant player, and Josh Archer was the other one, went to Portadown on loan and went and played most of the season, then came back to Linfield. These boys here were talking about getting out the Championship 2 clubs, whatever it is as well, like, so it's sort of massive gap still from the Irish Premier Division. So again, if you can't cut it there, then you have little or no hope of making it in the
Paul
team.
Paul McGravy trying to top you up for the reserve kids trying to go to Ballymacash? Or
I say nothing. I say nothing, but we have some brilliant players there, and it'd be great to see what they'd be like out in maybe like the Ballymacash or Dollingstowns or whatever it may be. But it's just trying to get it right. I get very close to the players and want them to do so well, and if they want to be sent to another club, you hope it's the right club and they get playing plenty and get the most out of it, then eventually come back to Linfield. That's my plan. And sometimes I'm a wee bit nervous about sending them out. Be like, I mightn't get playing there. I might be a waste of time. So you just wanted to be right for the players first and foremost. And then if they excel, there's always a chance for them to come back and obviously have Linfield's first team.
One of the good things about your day job is the fact that you get to coach these kids at Linfield's under 20s pretty much quite regularly anyway. They're sort of full, well, not all of them are full time at Linfield, but
yeah,
a good majority of them are.
Yeah.
And then the relationships that you'll have with people here in the championship, PIL, it'll be a good situation for kids going from Linfield to get that experience.
No, definitely. It's been Irish League circles, you know yourself, it's close knit, and you sort of know once you're involved in Irish League, you can't get out of it. You know everyone in every club, so it's quite easy to send boys to these clubs and keep an eye on them and hear reports about them and go and watch them yourself. And just touch on it there as well with our full-time scholarship programme and sort of find their teacher as well. So,
which is an absolutely diabolical thing to say, to be honest.
Well, say nothing
You're
more,
teaching kids
more
from 9 to 3, it's mental.
9 to 3, half 9 to half 12. But again, I'm sort of, I don't know if they're sick of me or I'm sick of them, but with each other Monday to Friday and on the pitch, Mondays and Wednesdays in the gym, strength and conditioning, and obviously the classroom stuff, and then the train at night, and then the matches and all whatever. So again, it's very, very rewarding at times. Some of the kids, like Aidan Dockery was the one of the first years on our scholarship programme. He just bought into massively. Everything got bigger, technically better. I always thought he was going to make it as a player anyway. He signed for Blackburn our last pre-season, and he was brilliant. Got into our first team and all as well. Like, so boys that got there, he came away with 3 A-level qualification as well, like, which is brilliant for Aidan. And if he's never going to make it as a footballer later in life, he's always got something to fall back on. So that's what we do. With my teacher's head on as well, it's still important to have an education behind you. But if you can do football with it as well, and that's the beauty of our scholarship programme. We do ours in Misley Park. You've been into the classroom sometimes. See me working hard.
Seen you sitting there with your feet up with Spike Ferguson.
But you've seen the Linfield first team are training there while we're in the classrooms, and David Healy's actually used our players quite a bit to train with him. So it's not boys 16 years of age, maybe not even being Swift's regulars, 18's regulars. They're still getting to train with our Linfield first team at times. I think there was one session we had so many injuries last year, and David Healy said could we get 11 players to play against 11 first team players as well in the match. So 1-2-0 actually.
Take it.
Yeah, I think we're tanked. But no, things like that there, they get the opportunity to train the first team, see the first team. David Healy's in the classroom, knows all their names.
Yeah.
He's in, speak to them all the time, and it's just run all at Linfield, and it seems to be working well and getting boys towards the first team, some across the water, so it's very rewarding.
One thing I want to touch on there is David, and this may be a bit controversial and stuff, but how do you think the criticism at the minute for David and how Linfield went last season in terms of winning the league, saying that they underachieved, nobody else was good enough, and tried to pretty much win the league off Linfield?
That's part and parcel of Linfield. I know with David Jeffrey, I think we won 6 doubles in 7 years, and it still wasn't good enough. Mum and Dad used to sit in the crowd and watch it, whatever, and we were getting booed when we passed the ball backwards sometimes and conceding a corner or winning 3-0 and all. It was just the expectation levels are through the roof. They just expect you to win. Again, people say but maybe not playing as well, but they're still getting results. But what do you want them to do? Go out and play all this expensive football and lose it and whatever and get beat? Oh, that's hard luck. They'll be even worse then. So,
100%.
In my opinion, don't care what anyone says, it's results business first and foremost. That gets you into Europe, that gets you money, that gets you to be able to buy new players and sign new players and keep your players. So, again, the criticism is just they pay the money and they feel they're entitled to go and say what they want whenever they want. And I think social media is probably the worst thing now. Back in the day, you got booed on a Saturday afternoon for a wee bit and you could take it in the chin, but you're going home and you're scrolling through your phone at night and you can't sleep and you're like,
Twitter's going ballistic.
Twitter's going, and that person probably was at the match on the wind up and they're saying he's this, he's that, whatever, like, and they just won the league. Well, that's the worst Linfield team to win the league in so many years, and they won it by about 20 points. It was done about March or something like that there, and still some people aren't happy, but it's mind blowing at times, like, but that's football for you. Sure, we watch the Premier League and we're telling Ronaldo's and Rooney's, whoever it is playing, what they should be doing. You need to catch yourself on. Like, it's sort of, no one's out there to make mistakes or not play well or not pick their winning team or whatever it is. And you know David Healy as well, like, he can do no more, and the hard work he puts into it and the success he's had and the hunger to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. That's probably the most thing about Linfield, is relentless.
Yeah.
Those boys won the league. It was brilliant. They didn't celebrate it, but it wasn't going on for days and days and days.
Not like it would have been back in the day.
Not like it was back in the day. I think we done 3 days. Me and Mark McAllister, we won the double. Ended up in his house in Portadown the Monday afternoon. So I missed the football writers dinner, but no, that's Linfield. You're always preparing for next season, like, and their work started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you don't get much of a break, and just expect to do it again. They think the players and the managers are robots, but it's a thankless task at times. But when you do well and you do win it, it's a fantastic feeling. And yeah, this season they're under a lot of pressure to go and do it again, and it's going to be very difficult. But look at Coleraine, they've made the money that's going about there, and made the players are signing. It's scary, and obviously Lauren last couple of years, you never know what Glentoran's going to do, and Cliftonville as well, Dungannon last season, Darkcourt, even Ballymena, the signings they've made and the squad they've built as well. It's going to be
a very interesting season.
It's been a mental season, I think. I haven't a clue. People keep saying your predictions, though, and I hope Linfield obviously win it, whatever, but I think this season's just going to be, anything could happen, like, it's just going to be crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully. Because the league every year is getting bigger, it's getting better, it's getting more competitive. European chances, playoffs, games.
That's the thing. Like, every weekend you're almost guaranteed a match on the TV. Yeah, I think I was playing. There's a couple of matches on Sky, whatever, and had the cup matches, and I used to get them recorded. And if I played well, I rushed home to watch it. There's always a painted over with EastEnders or something. But no, you used to love seeing yourself on TV in a match, like, so you could actually watch, like, what a pass there, the shot you had there. It was really interesting to watch. But now there's a match on every Friday and Sundays, whatever, and streaming as well. Like, so I love watching the Irish League. If I'm sitting in the house on a Friday night, Dungannon are playing Ballymena or something, or Inter Milan against AC Milan or Real Madrid, I'd watch the Irish League match just because I know the players, and obviously it's not nowhere near as good as quality, like, but for me it's the best league to watch and entertaining and see how you're getting on, because our reserves may be playing against a few of the boys you're playing that team, like, flip, he played there and he was good, or it's just always good to watch it, and I always keep doing it. So the coverage I have brought in has been super, like, and again this season will be something similar. There's the Linfield match on next week, or this week, sorry, coming, the Shelbourne on the Shelbourne. So it's actually going to go down to Tolka Park as well. I was debating it there, but I hadn't told Rachel and the kids I was going to go down to Dublin for the day, so it's on the iPlayer, so happy days to be able to watch it. And then I'll go to the home match obviously the following week. So
I'll tell Lucy we're both out and we'll go watch it.
Say we're playing, I'll leave her. I can't believe it's that far.
Well, listen, what I want to do is I want to strip it right back. I want to ask you, who is Michael Gault? How did Michael Gault get started in football? I think it was way back in the day, long time ago. Less grey hairs.
Less pounds as well. No, it was just always kept the ball about. I have an older brother, Ronan. Probably give him a he know well.
A couple of questions down there, but
no,
I think he'll probably skip past those because he's too mental.
He'll get me locked up. No, Ronan, 5 years older than me, was always into football, and my dad played football as well. It was just a natural progression. That's all you done when you're back as a kid then. See, now you're
computer games
sitting
in the house and
scooters, and no interest in really out in the streets. Well, if you're out in the streets and play football, you get shouted at and all as well, nice as well, and you can't play it. So
my dad used to crack up because there'd be dents in his car from balls ricocheting back off.
Rubbish, that's why.
Because they'll have toe hooks everywhere.
That's what you love doing, like, and that was the only thing to do in life. You went to school, came home, out in the street for a couple of hours, bed, school, just rinse and repeat again, and I love doing it. And that's the damn breed now. I don't see too many things. That's just the way the world is these days. And I had no option but to go and play football, and I loved it. And went to primary school and just one of the better ones in my class. You always, he's good at football, and always playing football, getting out of classes to go and play football matches and all for the older teams. And then I just played for Lisburn Youth for a long time as well, from about under 7 or 8 years of age up to about 15 or 16. And just loved playing football. We trained the Tuesday and Thursday. Might have only been one night a week back then. Yeah. Just in this one of the leisure centres there, and a wee 5-a-side once a week, and then a match on Saturday. But it was brilliant. It's the best part of the week. Every Saturday, my dad took me to every game, no matter where it was, rain, hail, snow. He was there taking me, watching me. Always, never overstepped the mark and criticised whatever. Like, it was just wanted me to do well. Like, and just he was well into it. And then I went to secondary. I went to Aquinas over in the Ravenhill Road there, all the way from Lisburn. So you
were in the fancier school, me and Jason are sitting there with brothers up tonight.
We had the sprint.
We were
all the bad boys.
Short Sam was ready to get you.
Didn't take my lunch money. No, so we went into Aquinas there, and I played in first year a couple of times, or whatever, and then mum and dad were working at the time, and I got the school bus all the way over from Lisburn, like, so there only was one proper school bus. I couldn't trust myself to go to Belfast and get a public bus. So then I just stayed overnight in school. So we got the school bus back to Lisburn. But the PE teacher wanted to play Gaelic to play in the soccer team. And I didn't really play Gaelic. I liked it, like, but I didn't really want to play it, like. So I just said, well, I'll not play football then. So he was like, right, no bother. So from up to the 6th year, I didn't play any sport in school. Just still kept playing for Lisburn Youth, which, looking back now, I regret it. But at the time, didn't really bother me too much. Or I was having mates playing football in the streets and whatever. So I just didn't play school football. I think I was about 16 years of age, coming to the end of Lisburn Youth. They were a brilliant boys team, and I sort of asked to go to Cliftonville by Billy Black, and then asked to go to Linfield by Les King. Well, Les asked me first. So I remember just went, it wasn't like an official trial, like, it was just like, go down and see how you get on. So I went to Linfield first, so they asked me first, and I never really experienced all these mad rockets from Belfast, Gavin Thompson and Bella and Bash and all these boys here, brilliant lads. Like, at the time, I'm just a wee boy from Lisburn looking around me going, what is this here? Like, I never...
Eye-opening sort of, like,
they were such brilliant crack. They were like men back then, they were 16, like, they were good crack, like, and I was just... Right, but I was playing left back and sub and wasn't getting on too much and didn't really enjoy it. And I remember just at where the McDonald's is, or at the big roundabout there, beside the Royal Hospital, and my dad says, you like it? And I said, not really. And he goes, don't think I want to go back. And he says, that's fine, no problem. So I went up the road, a few days to think about it, and says, I could go back again. And just all of a sudden, it just clicked for me. Played centre midfield and I started crunching boys and tackles, and all them boys were like, that be lad can play, he's getting stuck in and all. I was like, this is great.
Just trying to hurt football.
No, well, sort of. And then I just loved it, and then before you knew it, Dennis Shields brought me into Linfield Swifts then. So I remember I was working in Tesco's on a Friday night, did in the freezers, and that's how you couldn't text whatever WhatsApp groups. It was literally, I think Dennis phoned down to Tesco's or something, said you're in the Swifts, and I didn't know who Dennis was, and reserves. I was like, right, okay. So I think we were playing shorts pits in the Steel and Sons Cup. I was 17 or something. I hadn't a clue what was going on. Like, my dad knew it was a big deal, but I didn't. So I got there and I was down to be sub. I think it was Paddy Smith, boy. But Paddy went to St. Joe's actually. He was down to start, but didn't turn up. So I was playing left wing back, playing against men and all whatever. I was looking around me and done really well and loved it. And Dennis Shields just took a shine of me from day one. Like, Dennis loved me. And
Dennis is like a cult hero up there for the reserve team. He's been used there for so long.
Dennis is one of the main reasons why I stuck at Linfield for so long, and he was one of the first ones to show good faith in me. Actually, I have a story about all the boys were getting paid. I think it was 30 quid a week at the time. McDuck and Stephen Shaw, Aaron McKay and all, Mark Parker boys. Some are same age as me, some a bit older. So I was in the Swifts of I was playing it. I was probably the best football I ever played. That's 1 or 2 years of Swift. It was brilliant, like just getting a bench out of half and just running about. And Dennis was just telling me, where you go, son? I loved it. And they all got 30 quid a week or something. I was only getting a fiver, which I didn't really care about the money then. I got handed an envelope. I was just like, there's 20 quid in it for happy days. So I didn't say anything. And then the following season, all the same boys all got the envelopes in the bus. I seen their envelopes were still bigger than mine.
A bit chunkier.
3 fivers in my one again. And I just went, yeah, that's not right. Like, I've been here as long as good as time as I am, and in my opinion, I'm playing better than them. Like, 100% was. And just like, well, that's not really fair. And I think it was, I said to my dad, my dad said, just give it back to him. And I said, well, the next day I trained, I just give it back to Dennis. I says, nah, I don't want that there. They're getting that there. I don't want that, like. And Dennis just, the mannerisms of Dennis was just as like, so Dennis just didn't want to say much. He was just like, goes, what's going on here? So sort of Dennis was taking it back a wee bit. And then the following month, I got the same as the rest of the boys in the 120. But still this day, I think Dennis paid out of his own pocket, to be honest. Like, right. I'm almost certain he did. Like, I must ask him. I think Dennis paid that there. So if you're listening, Dennis, I'm still skinned. Still need money. Get there more 30 quid going about now. So I think this Dennis maybe stayed that. And I remember at the end of that reserve team season, I played every single match in the Manor League playoff against Cliftonville. And then I was on the bench because Ian Young dropped down. The first teamer dropped down. He played for us quite a bit that season. And now the first team, and he asked could he play the last game, and Dennis had to leave me out, and they got beat. Like, and I just, so after the match, I didn't throw a tantrum ever. Like, believe it or not, I was a real quiet, shy boy, and I barely opened my mouth till about the age of 18. Like, so I just got in the car so disappointed, and Dennis rang the house out night and all. Right, okay, and then following season just went in and just went from there again.
Talk to me about the change that comes after this. So, just to go through this, you had about 13 years in total at Linfield, close to 500 games, and it starts kind of very quickly for you.
Yeah.
How does that come about? What conversations were had with you and Mr. Jeffrey at that stage to get your first appearance.
I was just doing so well for the Swifts, like, and I think it's always nice to get one of the homegrown players and see the ranks up to the first team. Like, it always looks well in the club, and I was doing really, really, really well. I think the first team were struggling, and I think they were finishing about fourth or something. And it was the first time I got in. They were in the Irish Cup final actually against Portadown. It's the last league game of the season. They played Glenalvon away.
Yeah.
It's like me and Peter Thompson all played that match. I think we got beat 2-0 and like got man of the match of Sunday Life. Like, it was brilliant. Like, it was
Number 8.
I was expecting to play the final
You're
next
going
week.
to Sunday flicking down. Wonder what they're rated, mate.
I think it was page 8 or number 8. I don't know. So I was just like, I didn't think I'd spend the cup final, but it was really good and thought for next season, happy days. Like, so I don't think I played too much. I just played for Swift and all the next season. Like, and that's when the story came to Big Davy. We had a Christmas dinner in New Forge Lane.
Right.
So all the wives and girlfriends, Pat McShane's, Mickey Murphy's, Glenn Ferguson's, they're all bringing their wives and girlfriends to this Christmas dinner. And me and Andy Patterson, who played for Linfield Swiss, we were supposed to go. But then that didn't bother us. We went into town just for blue jeans, check shirt, and caterpillar boots, carry out the Globe, black. And one of us said, do you want to go up the New Forge for a crack? I don't know if it was me or Andy's idea, so we said, I will go up anywhere. So we ended up the New Forge Lane. Got up to the buyers. It's obviously like a police sort of.
Alright, doesn't that end?
Something
So
really
stupid.
police, like. We I don't know how we even spoke, but we got through. Then we went up the back stairs and we ended up the back of the bar. And Tommy Wright at the time was like the goalkeeping coach. He said, what are you two doing here? We're like, where's the party, Tommy? And then we got in. So we were steaming, like, it was about 9 o'clock, 9:30 Saturday night, and we expecting to walk into like a big party or something. We walked in and we were all sitting like a school canteen. It was just like in rows and all eating their dinner and stuff. And we just started walking up and down, just dancing in between them and all. And what's going on? Like, and we were saying, who's that wee lad there? That's Michael Gault and Andy, like. So we were just blocked. And the Big Davy was sitting there. And I sort of went over to him. And I sort of had him a slap. That guy never even spoke to anyone, the changers or nothing, like the first teamers. And I just sort of hit him like slap the back of the head. And he goes, well, man, this F in the first team, you had a few choice words. And he just looked at me. Funny look. I just bust out laughing. That's all I can remember from that night. I remember they got us two in the taxi home. We were the last two to leave the place, got home, woke up next morning, just thinking, did that happen? Nah, I don't think it did. And even just making it up. And then the training Tuesday night, the Swifts used to train down the bottom, the first team were up the top. And I just heard about Michael McLean, the centre half the older than me, he was a brilliant player. He usually called Michael down the stream the first time. He goes, Michael. So we thought it was Michael. He started joking, no, the other one, Gault, come you up here. And I was scundered. I was running out with Tony Gorman and Glenn Ferguson's. And I was mortified, like, and I could barely remember the night and all, whatever had happened, like, but I seen the workers after that there wasn't the first team, and
Yeah.
I didn't let him down and play for so long. But that's, you know, Davey as well as I know Davey, like, he's just a brilliant character. He looked after me very, very well.
It's one of those situations where it can easily go two ways with him, depending on his mood, because if you get him on the wrong day, he'll just annihilate you in front of the room, or you get him on that day and the arm comes out,
Yeah.
he's messing you around and you crack on and everything's great, but
Yeah.
how quickly it changes.
Hasn't been too many times. I think you had to pull me in. We were playing Distillery at Ballyskay and Sturdy King, actually. I still think it was Sturdy touted me this day. We never admitted it, like, how we were. Sturdy had to be in Tavanna Street there at the student house. So obviously after training, we'd go to Sturdy's house, we'll carry it in their bags sometimes. Big blue WKD and a bottle of vodka, so we'll go to Sturdy's house after training. But for some reason he didn't go out on a Thursday night, so he dropped me in the Sky. And I was waiting on my mates, someone's birthday from Lisbon, whatever it was, and I was waiting on my mates. I was there at 9 o'clock, the first one there, like, and I was a pound of drink in Sky, so sort of took advantage.
Oh,
I was standing at the bar waiting on my mates coming for an hour, like. And then obviously partied all night, drank, went up Donegal Road singing songs all night, got a taxi by 2 in the morning. Woke up Friday, I was okay, and then had the match on Saturday. And so we went in just as normal, preparing for a match. Big Davy pulled me into the shower and was like, Sky Thursday night. And I was just
Blank.
it was right. Well, that was a rule back then. Right in the Thursday night, you're fined 2 weeks' wages. So
Yeah.
he says, if you play well enough today, I'll think about the fine. So I went out and played the match. I played okay, and they fined me a week and a week. So it was 2 weeks' wages. So he didn't do many favours then. So after that, there, like, people knew I was a student, out studying or whatever. It wasn't like a raising alcoholic or anything. Like, I was just, I enjoyed the crack with my mates and whatever. So cancelled the Thursday nights and went out Wednesday nights instead. So I was recovered for a couple of days. But no, he knew what we were like. We were a good group of lads and always socialising together and all whatever. But we never let him down in the pits. And it's only a few times he had to rein me in and I got there a couple of times. But
Whenever you look at that team, the team that was amassed over, well, you were obviously 13 years, but for around 3 or 4 years, Linfield were completely untouchable. It was like Arsenal whenever they kind of couldn't be beat. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was just obviously Davey signed the players. I'm not going to say it was in our training sessions were all these tactical things. We were doing all these mad things other teams weren't doing. It was very, very simple. Our training was still a warm up, we passing drill, and then matches, whatever. Like so, it was just obviously the players that he signed that were bringing players. Look, it always seemed to be the same centre midfielders every single year. I'm looking pre-season going flippers. He won the clean sweep there, and then all of a sudden he's flipping saying our 2 centre midfielders, Tim Mainsey, Warren Kearney's, Connor Downey's, Damien Kern. I could name them all. There's so many. Always seem to be centre midfielders, but again, you can shirk away, or I think it made me play better and hungry. So if like, oh, he's not taking my place, so
I'll prove you wrong. Sort of.
Didn't try any extra harder. Just always done it. I always worked really hard at football. Like I'm just, they'll have to come try and take my place. And lucky enough for the majority of the time there, David always seemed to stick by me and put those other centre midfielders. He put them wide left or wide right or centre half or something. But I could only really play centre midfield and centre half not very well. So he just.
Well, in fairness, you were probably one of the best midfielders.
No, it's just
around at that stage.
Had brilliant players around me. Paul McAreevy, people say that I just did all the running, I couldn't pass or whatever, and he couldn't run or couldn't tackle. He just that wasn't true. Like
some smackers up to be fair now. When you look at him, you're like, Jesus.
Well, around him, we wanted to go for a up the mountain. He says no, but Paul McAreevy could tackle, could head as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I could pass and do things to get up the ball, but not as good as him, obviously. But I could still do it, but not to the extremes and likes of him or flair players like Barnsley and Kearney. But
yeah,
we just had such a good, strong squad and full of fit players. And I mean, Glenn Fergus and Peter Thompson up front, like it
kind of helps whenever somebody's able to bang in over 500 career goals.
Exactly, like
help.
Like all this football you see now, and I'm not anti-football, far from it. Like I do like to play football with the teams I have, like, but you see 40 passes back and forth, this and that, whatever. Like Pep Guardiola's Man City, who are obviously unbelievable, but it's just not easy in the eye for me anymore watching football, the Premier League. It's just.
I think it was good when Barcelona done it for about 3 years, and now you're kind of like.
But they still got the ball to Messi quite quick enough, like, and then he was brilliant. But these centre halves, back to keeper, back to left back to keeper. It's boring. Like at least the Irish League, you know what's happening. And our team as well. We weren't an ugly team, whatever. Like, but it was just we got the ball from front to back or back to front quite quickly. It
was very direct. You don't know Palomino too, but he made. For me, the reason why I really enjoyed it was because there was no complication in it, and it was all like I'm not the smartest character. Do you know what I mean? Like when it comes to having to think about things, but when you only have 1 or 2 options, you don't have to worry about anything else. Do you know what I mean?
You were flying off front and all that, and like as well, you get the ball to your forward players as quick as possible. Then Glenn and Peter, see if we'd have been passing the ball back and forth, and Glenn and Peter's looking at you, they'd be saying,
"What do you do?"
They'd shoot the faces off and say, "What are you doing? Get the ball up!" Like, and the balls came out, we picked up second balls, got the ball away, but it worked very well for us. And still, football I still think it's a very simple game and shouldn't be changed about too much.
Well, as I touched on there at the start, you were easily David's love child for many, many years, which is very clear to everybody. But you were the captain in Linfield at stages. You went on to win the clean sweep. One of the only people to be a part of that team, and it'll never be done again because obviously the competitions aren't there. But talk to me about Linfield actually being able to compete at that stage with the likes of full-time teams. You were obviously only part-time.
No, it was great. We experienced this in Tanda Cup. Was it 2005? I think it was. We had the reunion there, the 20-year reunion, which was brilliant. But again, we didn't see the argument full-time, part-time. We were good players, honest, hard-working players with quality as well. Like especially Glenn and Peter, Winky Murphy, Noah Bailey, outstanding. We were playing Shelburne, who had 24 full-time players. Yeah. And we were joking on the bus on the way down, spiking all. Like, I think we were 5-1, 6-1 to win the match and all. Like, whatever price they were. Like, they were massive favourites and we knew that. But we didn't let that affect us. We just went out and played a game of football. We scored the 2 goals at the right time and defended for our lives. Like, but it was just never been beaten attitude and went out. It's 11 against 11. I think we were just that good. We cope with it well, like, but obviously you see different things like FA Cup ties. full-time teams against part-time, but they always seemed to win. Like, so again, at that time, we were very good and sort of forced us to go to full-time as well. So I think our first, in 2005 or 6 after the clean sweep season, 4 of us went full-time. So it was me, Peter, Mackers and Alan Manus.
Right.
So me and Mac, so it was... But we still...
Wait there. Talk to me about that.
So we still...
How did 4 people go full-time? So where did the rest of the
team
team
was the
doing?
goalkeeper there, but it was again... I think it was... I was studying. I was still lucky to be studying in Jordanstown to come back to train and stuff. So I had to put the training back to half-time on a Monday or Wednesday. And then boys were fine, like, so it was the start. You had to start somewhere. Obviously, Linfield now, everyone's full-time there, but we had to start somewhere. We started the first season of 4 and finished up with about 9, 4 or 5 years later, I think it was. So it was just a process. But we still trained hard on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday night, and we still trained with them. So we couldn't do much extra than that there with the match on Saturday. Yeah. So we done Dennis Shields took us on a Monday and Wednesday morning. But we were supposed to be measurably better than what was there. Like, how could I go and be all of a sudden measurably better than Glenn Ferguson with doing an extra couple of sessions during the week? It was impossible. Yeah. I think it was more to the fact of not having to work, maybe getting us rested for matches. Peter Thompson was a postman. He was working on a Saturday morning, carrying a big heavy bag and delivering whatever. Yeah. He was going performing. So it probably worked for likes of Peter. For myself and Mackers, I don't think it worked too well for us.
You had more time to go out and then recover, just 9 ins. And
I think we spent about 9 hours in Yorkgate one day. We watched 3 films in the cinema. And then we played bingo. And then the all-you-can-eat Chinese. It was a great day. It's really last week, like. That was the thing. Like, me and Mackers wasn't Swindon and full-time, whatever. Like, I'd never experienced full-time football. Like, so I came the JDW, used to go to the gym and sit in the jacuzzi for an hour. It was good crack, like, but we regressed on to get 6, 7, 8 full-timers at one time, which did make it better, but there was still a lot of our squad. Winky Murphy, Noel Bailey, they weren't going to go full-time. They were mid to late 30s and
good careers and had to worry about that.
Good careers, like, they're never going to go full-time. So for the younger ones to build up through, it sort of worked. But again, we were probably better in 2004, 2005 as opposed to 2007, 2008. With more full-timers later on, whatever it was, because...
You were still technically full-time. Like, let's really be honest about full-time football at the minute. It's technically 3 days and like a prep day. Yeah, like, most people are doing that anyway. Like, say Cliftonville. I know Ballymena have went 3 days.
Cliftonville's the best example. They haven't been full-time, and you tell me those Cliftonville players aren't one of the fittest group in the league. Of course they are.
They're still doing the same amount of training, because even at Larne, when we done it, our Friday wasn't really a fitness day. You can't really do much, so you're still only doing your 3 days hard. You have 1 day off. Your Friday was a prep day, and then you played on Saturday, so they may be getting an extra 45 minutes.
That's the thing, and Linfield have tried to do it with what they eat, the Larne as well. Like, they have got the facilities and the food and the
flip side of Larne, they tried to alter my dad.
Linfield as well. Like, I've seen it in action or whatever, but it's just from going from part-time to full-time. I know there's players like Jimmy Gallagher and Andy Waterworth and all as well. It's sort of hard to just, let's go, we're going from part-time to full-time, and it's just obviously the financial aspect of it as well. So you're paying players, I don't know what they're paying them, potentially double some of the players, because they can't
You would
work.
need to.
You need to.
Yeah.
And there's not just a squad of 16, 17, 18 anymore, there's squads of 24 or whatever, so it's a massive cost for any club to go full-time, and things like food and more training kit and all sorts of things, like, so it's just a massive...
Yes, men to wash it and have stuff ready and prep days.
Then again, what's the rewards now? You've seen Larne get into the group stages there, but I think Larne had a bye and then they lost a match, then won a match, and not taken away from their achievements to get there, and obviously jealous because they were the first team to do it, like, and it's brilliant, and obviously they're going to try and do it this year, but you're hearing these investors pumping lots of money into clubs, like, and they're not going to make any money on
there's no financial return from it.
So why on earth? See, I mean, you were sitting here with £100 million between us. Are we going to go and give it the...
No, I mean, you'd be in Portugal.
Exactly. We'd land the beach. We'd land the beach. FaceTime the kid back home. But do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to go and invest in an Irish League club. It's just, you're not going to make your money back. As you get, even Lauren got through the group stages and still made a loss that year. So, what is the point?
What I want to talk to you about is, it's not the first time you've been fined, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But this was probably your heftiest fine. And it was over quite a funny photograph between you and two other fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about who was involved and what happened.
Oh, good Ballymena man, Dougie and Winky. So I think it was Winky's fault. Winky blames me and Dougie blames Winky, so we don't know who's in the wrong. But
quite smart to never actually
the more you think about it, it was just so childish and immature. I don't even think we realised what we were doing. Like, it was
In
just,
fairness, the photograph's hilarious.
I know. That one
That one
photograph.
photograph is hilarious.
He has Colin McMaster, who was a photographer at the time. So obviously, Limpy's official photograph is a big deal. Where you're standing, who you stand beside, who's in it, and all the board.
In fairness, too, just to give a wee bit of outside view here, David has everybody lined up specifically and orchestrating it.
He's done his homework for a week and that. There,
he does. He plans it, and he has to be in certain places and certain people. So he takes it so serious.
So I think I remember one of my first years, I was at the back row for a couple of years, then all of a sudden I got down towards the front, and then blew him a chance then for messing about. So I don't know why we were sitting in the front. Me, Winky, and Dougie. Who's in the middle? I think Dougie. Ricky's in the middle, isn't he? The photo. So I don't know why we're sitting there, but we just crossed hands on each other's knees, whatever. The three of us. But the way Colin takes it, Colin was there for about 10 minutes, and there's so many flicks, whatever. I can't remember the exact number, but so Colin went back and looked over at because everyone came, like the board men and all came down, and people came from all across Northern Ireland and stuff, and associated with our club. So that was it done. No, we didn't think anything up. We went out and trained, didn't think anything of it. And then it was actually that was a Thursday night, I think. So on the Saturday, for whatever reason, I didn't play too many reserve team matches for Big Davy when I was fit and all, so I was playing for the reserves at Ballysky. Winky was injured or left out of the squad or something, or suspended or something. So the player who didn't play as much as me and Winky was Dougie, and he was in the first team out there. So Dougie was, I didn't know what was. I was playing for the reserves. It was probably bad mood why I was playing for reserves. Can't remember why. So I see my phone ringing. I think we kicked off early, so it was supposed to be about 1:30. I was Dougie. And he goes, Goldie, I've never seen Big Davy as mad in all my life. And I said, why? He goes, that team photograph where he was on the thing with the hands. Collins went to him. I said, you're right. So apparently, Colin found the funny side of it as well after the first 10, 15 slides or whatever you call them, whatever. But
he's probably thinking after a while I'll go back.
He was in the thousands, whatever, like it was thousands. He says it was funny after the first 10, 15, 20. Was he gone to near 1,000? He was like, oh dear. So obviously, one of the board members complained to Big Davy. It wasn't Davy's fault. Like, says your three players have made a blah blah blah. Apparently, they go out across because Linfield supporters in Australia or whatever, so they get things and send them off. So Davy got shouted at because of us then. So he was raging. So he was getting from the board and whatever. So he went into the change room and just went mad at Stephen Douglas and says, you three will never captain this club again. You've let me down. We'll have to bring everyone back next Thursday, whatever. I think the next week Winky was captain and I was club captain down the line, but no, Big Dougie rang me. I was in the change rooms at Ballysky, and he goes, Goldie, it's the worst I've ever seen him, like, us three are in big trouble, like. So I left at about 6 o'clock. Obviously, I think we won that day. Must have been playing Distillery at home. And then I rang David 6, and I said, David, sweet with Dougie, I'm sorry. He goes, it's all right. So he was
sweet with you by hand.
Calmed down by then, like, 'cause I think we must have won that day, but we got fined anyway, so it cost us 250 quid each. So selling 50 quid for us three messing about in the photograph, like, but it was.
Photograph's hilarious now, to be honest.
I know, but it wasn't even funny, like, no, at the time.
So stupid when you look at it.
Did it, like,
I will actually I'll send it to Alan and I'll try and get it. I'll try to get a clip.
Funny, like, it's just so childish, and we did it, like,
brilliant.
But we didn't think anything of it. Went home, we just didn't think anything of it, and then came back. I think everyone back down the Thursday night and all again for another photo of the chairman and all. It was just, they were scundered, like, but
everybody's reading full kit again, sitting there.
full kit and all again, sitting there, like, and we're playing to do it again and all, and just, it was funny, like, but that's just, what came through, like, just, that's why there's such a good change room to be around, like, it was just always something silly or stupid to happen here. But
the characters in that change room, looking at it now, are probably the maddest change room to date. Like, he's amassed all these complete headers into one team that turned out to be unbelievable.
He was able to control us all and get us performing in the pitch.
Everyone was probably afraid of him. Like, everyone had that utter respect for him, but at the same time, nobody ever wanted to cross him. No. You didn't want to go on the wrong side of him because ruthless too.
He knew I liked to go out and enjoy myself with my friends as a student or whatever. Like, he knew what Winky was like, he knew what Dougie was like, he trusted us all, whatever. Never let him down the pits. So yeah, it's one of those ones who always had a good relationship, but you would never, we played with him in Ballymena, you would never cross him and never get in his wrong side, like, because he's such a good person. You didn't want to do it to him anyway or let him down. I would have felt that was two people in football I just wanted to impress so much. There's always my dad, number one, and Big Davy, like, and he was down watching me, he's playing for Portadown or whatever. It was always, what's Big Davy happy with? Yeah. If he's happy, my dad's happy, I'm happy, then it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks, like.
One of the big things that I kind of amassed at the time, Ballymena, the first stage, was how truly good David was, but how unbelievable Bram was. Yeah. And doesn't get a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Well, people don't really, obviously, put Bran in the same category, but it was like Jekyll and Hyde. It was, you needed one to get the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Davy's always the front man. And Bran's in behind the scenes doing everything, even at Linfield. Linfield were just a part-time club training Tuesday and Thursday in a match side, but Bran McLaughlin knew all the reserve team players, knew all the youth team players, knew everything about everyone.
Yeah.
So he done all Davy's work, not Davy's work for him, but David Jeffrey was very busy. He was a senior social worker and Linfield manager, but Bran knew everyone and kept him right and kept, obviously, Bran's a torturer, we've been out with him and all, whatever. He's
the balance, isn't it?
Just doesn't switch off like him. You always hear David now, if you ever constantly listen to him, he's always myself and Bran McLaughlin. He's always so bigging him up big time and deservedly so. And I think Bran was a major part of it. And I can still remember that Santanta Cup bus run on the way home. We obviously won. Went out the Saturday night in Dublin in the Sunday. I had an exam the Monday, so I couldn't celebrate properly on the Sunday. So I was trying to read my books to back the bus, and Bran McLaughlin was singing Elvis at the top of his voice up and down, and then the bus must have stopped. And Bran, about 20 feet back down the bus, somersaults going down, and I was just the best night in football, like, with all those great players and great lads, and the celebrations we had, like, and no one ever thought. And lo and behold, we're playing Shelbourne in the European fixture this year, so hopefully the boys can go out and replicate it.
Same result.
I hope so. It'll be brilliant for them, but it'll be very difficult.
Talk to me about the overall length of time you spent at Linfield, the amount of titles you won in total. You won 7 leagues, I think. 7 leagues, 5 Irish Cups.
Yeah, it was
quite successful, you know, Michael.
I remember at the start, I think we got a league bonus and all, whatever it was, we got a bonus and all. So you're getting bonuses for winning football, like, and I was like, this is mental. So
David never gave me one of them, to be honest.
He didn't win the league.
Didn't win anything.
And then I actually got Player of the Month and all as well, and I got a check for Player of the Month on the first season, the first team, and I thought I'd win it every month, and I thought, right, I'm going to win this every month then, so I get money for winning this year thing, but obviously it proved very difficult and very tough, but you're getting bonus. We didn't go win the league to get money at the end of it. That was just it was a bonus, but it was just things like that there, and just made you hungry to go out and perform, and wasn't just happy with one. You get another one as well, and 3, 4, finally got to about 7, and it was brilliant, like, and the celebrations you have with a group of friends, and just going out and winning. As I say, the 6 doubles in 7 years, a clean sweep, the Santanta Cup, it was just brilliant, unbelievable. And I think I got so used to it, I thought this would be like this every season, but there was a few barren seasons. The last couple of seasons, the Blues didn't work out too well, and then went to Portadown, lost the Irish Cup final or whatever, didn't win anything.
Before you go any further, that Irish Cup final, I think you're probably one of the reasons. There was a bad tackle in there at some stage.
There was everything.
But
no.
Was it you breaking into the box? Somebody cut you down just outside.
Yeah. I still get tortured because it's on YouTube and all. Obviously everything's on YouTube and all now. The kids in my group and all, they would put in the WhatsApps, and I just give them extra homework, and I said, no, well, we'll see how that goes anyway. No, that was the thing. I left Linfield and was devastated to leave the Blues. So I went to Portadown and thought I want to really do something here. And we were flying the league. We beat the Blues a couple of times. We were really doing well. A few injuries, whatever, and now sort of dropped down the league a wee bit. So we just concentrated on the Irish Cup, and it just didn't work out from day one. For whatever reason, we had to play at the Oval. I think Windsor was getting fixed. So I think as a group of players, we were asked, we just played the Oval, or do you want to go to neutral? We said, I will go to the Oval, no bother. We decided that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Home team, like.
We said, I will go to the Oval, no problem. But the day was terrible. The weather was shocking, and running through there. And I actually had about 6 officials on there, because Raymond Crane goes at the post, and there's on the other post, and there's a 4th official, and there's a referee, and there's 7 or 8 officials over there. So I seen the ball going back, and I thought he's going to pass it back to the keeper. I don't know why, I just kept running.
I've never seen you move as quick.
Me neither. I probably would have missed it, like, but the ball went through, and I thought, I'm getting on the end of this here.
Yeah.
Well, it was clipped, and it went down, obviously, so it was a straight red card, and it was a free kick. But the thing that most people, and then thinking people missed, he passed it back to the goalkeeper anyway, and the keeper picked it up.
Yeah.
So if the referee didn't think it was a free kick on me, we'll hold our hands up. It was still a back pass, the keeper picked it up, like, there's no getting away from that. Comes the back pass. Now Elliot throws it out, left back, and I'm still mucking my face. Me and Mark McAllister were still slapping the referee.
You were sliding face first, like it was chopped.
They went up and scored then 30 seconds later, like, so it was on the 1-1-0. Only one goal was winning that match, like, it was a terrible day, terrible match, and just cancelled each other out, like, and That was about the 60th minute or something, 55th, 60th minute. They had 10 men. Did it have a major impact in the game? 100% it did. Like, and but that does shows you. Like, Linfield was my team, so Portadown just for a wee bit. Like, but Portadown didn't get into Europe then. Portadown only got a couple $100,000. Would have sorted. So they lost out on that. And just the second season was the worst of football. It was just a terrible place to be around. Not saying anything bad about Portadown Club in general. It was just the players and it just didn't work out for anyone. And it was Ronnie's last year, absolute legend of the game. It was his last season. Like, so it was just. Did that result have an impact on that season?
Probably. Like, easy would have started that season going to Europe, everybody buzzing, ready for their flights.
100%. It was just a real sickener, a real downer, and just it really imported down, didn't really recover until the last couple of years. So had a massive effect on that football club, and it wasn't nice to see. But you just say that's football. I remember Raymond Krangle was standing there, and Raymond's brilliant lad. Like, I know Raymond. So on the way home the bus, I must have phoned I'm like, I don't let things lie. So I think I rang him or texted him. I said, wait. He goes, it was a foul, like, but my headset wasn't working. I says, well, why didn't you wave your hand or step out? He goes, I know I should have. I was sitting in the bus there. I was just like, right. The next day in the Sunday Life, there's a big story up. I was just hammering Raymond Craig. I think I spoke to someone in the media and just Raymond basically said, Raymond said he'd seen it, but he didn't. His headset wasn't working though. He just texted me.
Chucked someone that bus.
He just said, cheers, mate. I was like, well, all the yellow cards you give me and big time get you back. Well, it's just unbelievable. Like, and it was very unfair and Portadown. Like, and that would be my last medal of football, potential Irish Cup medal. Didn't another one. So for full of claim, man, he tortured me about it. I had another 5 or 6 anyway, so it didn't really matter. So they can't say too much. They still call me Slippy Gault. No, I see it on Twitter and a bite and whatever, but still call me Slippy Gault. Like, but could be worse. Could be playing for the Glens.
That team you go to at Portadown, there's always Ronnie had this thing where he always had like sort of like a smaller squad. It was about 18 players, but they were all quality players. I think at that stage Braniff was there.
No, Braniff, I missed
Braniff not there.
Just have a Ballymena bus. He didn't have. No, he
did come actually at Ballymena bus.
The Glenavon did. No, I didn't have Braniff. Gary Twigg.
Twigg was there. He was on Force, I think.
Darren Murray.
Darren Murray was there. Sorry, yeah.
Ribsy, Mark McAllister, Keith O'Hare, Gary Breen, Ross Redman.
Like a really good sort of starting squad, probably 12 or 13.
Chris Ramsey here before that was up mentioned. Really good, very good squad there. We've had a bit more depth, I think. We would have challenged in the league that season, but we just sort of fell up to Christmas. We were brilliant and beat Linfield the first day 3-0. That was my first experience playing against the Blues. I was suspended for the first 3 games of the season, so I was just down watching. It was surreal because I actually got presented with Linfield's Players Player of the Year or something before the match at Portadown,
right?
In the Portadown tracksuit, and I was just like, and went out and beat them 3-0. And McAllister and Ribsy were brilliant, like, and it was just like.
Couple of ex-Blue men there playing against them.
No, they were brilliant, like, so if I'd have been playing, they probably wouldn't have won, like, but probably they beat them because I wasn't playing, but they were brilliant, like, and it was just, that was my first, from 16 years of age to 31, that only known Linfield as my team, so it was quite surreal and not really a pleasant experience. People might think it was, but it wasn't real.
You move on to Crusaders, and I don't know if you thoroughly enjoyed Crusaders, but from the conversations that we had, you did enjoy it. And then you kind of pushed me in a situation where I thought I would enjoy it later on down the line, which never really seemed to work out for me, to be honest. But
I think my first game at Cruise would beat Ballymena 6-0, and I was marking you.
Well, yeah.
I was the only good game, actually.
To be fair, I think Michael Smith played that day, and I think Jeffries put him on the transfer list straight after. I think
he was
Gavin White absolutely ripped him a new one.
Gavin and Heats.
In fairness, though, just to throw it out there, for about 20 minutes, I thought that was my first season of Ballymena, and I'm thinking, we're alright here. Like, if I'm being honest, we're 20 minutes, we're in this, and then it was 4-0 at half time. I was like, fuck.
Crusaders say was a good side. Like, I think I played about the first. I played 30 odd games by Christmas.
30 games.
And then I sort of.
See, you only played 30 games.
I broke my thumb, so after Christmas I didn't play. We were top of the league, we had 9 points, whatever. Like, and I didn't play after Christmas and things like that, and very frustrated. Then I came back and I hurt my thumb again, whatever, and operation. So just that season was done for me. And
they were a powerhouse at that stage. Like,
they were a class team. I could have maybe went, but instead of going to Portadown, I could have went to Crusaders
earlier.
Originally, I should have done. But I actually didn't speak to Stephen Baxter because he'd heard what Portadown were offering. So he'd more or less say there was no point in speaking to you then. So I went to Portadown then, and I regret not maybe going to Crusaders a couple of years before when they won. But when I joined, they lost the league. Then I left.
They just came off the back of winning double, wasn't it? 2 years in a row.
Then I joined and ruined it. They lost the league, and then the following year, when I left, they won it. So, as I say,
you went to Ballymena, and then we got shaken.
And help me real. So Crusaders, I know I spoke to you about Cruise. No, I did. I went there too late in my career. I always wanted to stay at Linfield. Linfield's my older team, whatever. But I hadn't been playing for Linfield. I wouldn't mind playing for Crusaders. Great people around the club. Some great players there. It was very good, and it's just only lasted a season there. And I had a 2-year contract, and Stephen more or less said to me, like, you can stay, no problem if you want, but your game time might be a bit limited this season. And do you want to move on, like, and But there's already been speaking to Big Davy and Brian about Ballymena and stuff, and thought that was a match made in heaven again.
Just to go back, it's the comfort, isn't it?
I'll go up, and then it wasn't a mistake on the Ballymena. I think my legs were going probably, like, and it wasn't. My game was all about getting up and down the pitch and things like that and being physical, like, so, as you remember. So I went up to Ballymena. I was excited about it and looking forward to it. But Davy and Brian was going to play me centre half, and I started the centre midfield for him, like him. But I remember in the pre-season, so I knew David Jeffrey always done 12-minute runs.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm going down to Wallace Park and then doing my 12-minute runs and getting as fit as I can, so people can see I'm fit and all, and something to give the team. And that first night, I remember Tony Keane all laughing at me. The first lap, Big Davy says, right, we're doing 12-minute run. So I set off like a house on fire at first lap. Did about 45-50 seconds. I remember Tony after and all said, God, you can see why he's the blues and all, and whatever, he's still got it.
Tony's so fit as well now. He's just chilling.
The next 9 laps I went backwards and everyone was like, and I was just like, oh, this is that was the only time I've been running. I just thought something better hit me hard or eat me up from this ground here, because it was tough. And Leroy Miller and Stephen McCulloch, them boys were just skipping around.
It was him and Ross Glendenning, a goalkeeper. I've never been lapped so much. I think Ross lapped me twice in that 12-minute run, and I was like, you're a goalkeeper, maybe?
I went there on Tuesday and didn't come to Thursday. It was the first. Oh, my legs were gone.
The only thing you were lucky with was, I would have been the second year. Second year we were there. The first year, Bushy dropped out after about 3 laps. And it was hilarious, because I dropped out after 4, because I was like, fuck it, he dropped out first, I can drop out.
It was terrible.
It was the worst thing. He used to do it on a Tuesday night. He'd be like, David, are you serious? Like, every Tuesday, make a run to 6 minutes and 6 minutes again. Like,
no.
Like,
that was my first taste of it. 18 years of age in New Forge Lane. A Cooper run, followed by a half Cooper run, and then 6 W's.
Yeah.
So I done the Cooper run, had a break, and then the 6-minute run, and done the W's. And I swear to God, my head was spinning for 3 hours. I had to lie down in the change rooms. Couldn't see, couldn't drive home. I had to just lie there. It was welcome to senior football. Like, it was just. But then through the years of David, I knew what was coming pre-seasons, like, so I just went out and
dropped out.
Done my pre-season, like, and I had to, because I didn't have the quality that most of the players had, but I was fitting them all and worked harder and wanted it more. So that was the easy bit for me to run until I got in the 30s, like. But just wasn't really a match made in heaven. Wasn't enjoyable. A year at Ballymena, the first game of the season, then it started. I thought I was playing centre half. He put me in centre midfield in a 4-4-2. Played Glenavon. And I was marking Sykesy. And I just looked at him and I said, I'd struggled against him in my heyday. Like, never mind now, I'm 33, 34, chasing Sykesy. Went on the burning thing. So I was like.
I remember at one stage looking back, and somebody launched the ball over the top, and I remember you trying to turn it on, and I was like, looking at you like, holy f***, you.
I think the heart was knocked out of me when I left the Blues. I didn't want to leave, and I sort of left. And
we never really jumped on that, but what made you leave? Like, I mean, you were there 13 years.
No, it was.
Kind of came up through the ranks. You don't really seem like you actively wanted to be.
No, definitely not. A bit of record saying that there. I didn't want to leave. It was the only team for me. And David Jeffrey was leaving. I think it was about March or April time. That was his last season. He knew it, and he sort of came to us and approached us all and told us in change rooms, like. And I just remember McGrew was sitting beside me, and we were sitting listening. And I think Jamie just nudged me and goes, "He's away." And I was like, "We talked to him. We had a match that day against Ballymena or something." And he was getting a bit of stick, a bit of pressure and all whatever, and people wanting him out and all whatever. And I thought he'd never be leaving Linfield. I thought that's my only manager, and that's it. Like, and Jamie just nudged me and goes, because he had it written out in an email, and I had it to hand out to everyone, but I still didn't know what was going on. I was just getting ready for the match, and then, as I say, Jamie said he's away, and they talked about, and he gave us all these wee statements, and then he got up and spoke there, and tears in his eyes, and I was devastated. Like, I didn't, I'd never get emotional over football, like, but it tears in my eyes, and just like, this isn't right. So he sort of went around shaking everyone's hand and all before the match and all, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah." I just said, "Don't speak to me." I couldn't look over speak to him. I said, "I'll speak to you later." So I went out and done the warm up. I think we beat Ballymena 6. We were brilliant that day. And then after the match, I think his main Sean Moore went down to his boot room and he was drinking his Jamesons. and give me and Rory Jameson's. I never drink whiskey then. Like, he gave us a thing. We were like acting all hard as if, aye, what's the
Take it.
there? We had drank it like that. He's sure near spike.
Head rolling.
Driving home with, and then he was just, I was him gone, like, and so we sort of knew we were getting a new manager. Who's it going to be? And Warren Feeney actually contacted me then while we were still at Linfield, and saying he wants me to, we're going to play 4-3-3, and you and Stevie Lowry and someone else be in midfield, and great to have you and all. I had the voicemails on the phone and all, it's your new gaffer and all, like, but I played, but I was Northern Ireland in a couple of squads, and Feeney was there and all, dead on 100%, and I was like, well, I'll not be leaving Linfield. I don't care if it's not going to be David Jeffries, it's going to have to be someone, so I don't care who it is, I'll still be staying here. And we hadn't won the league in 2 years, so all the things we'd done before, the 6 and 7, were forgotten about, and we weren't successful for 2 years, and I was unfortunate my contract was running out, and Jimmy McGrew's was, and Peter Thompson's, and Billy Joe Burns, Mark McAllister and Tippy. So, but the first 4 mentioned are me, Jimmy, Peter and Billy Joe. Us 4 were the first ones up. And I think I'm not going to the exact figures what we're on and stuff, but my contract was something similar to Jamie's and whatever, and we were offered a 25% wage reduction, but it wasn't aimed at Jamie or aimed at me or aimed at Peter or whatever. It was just because we didn't win the league, we're cutting the budget. It's very unfortunate you're out of contract, but that's just what we're doing. If I didn't see that then, I was just thinking, I won a player of the year the last year. I've been here the longest. I've won everything. I'm club captain.
Yeah.
That's what do you want me to say? Yes, I'll sign straight away. Like, I'm not stupid at the end of the day. And if you're any sort of, if you're working in Tesco's or McDonald's or anything, and your boss goes, we're going to give you 25% less here of your salary, you'll be thinking, hold on here a wee minute. So as I done with everything football, I'll speak to my dad and all about it, and just wasn't too happy about it. So let's sit for a couple of days, and be fair to Paul Weir, he met me in Bangor and tried to convince me to stay on, but I wasn't accepting I was leaving Linfield. I always knew I was going to stay no matter what. I've had to come to it and say, right, I'll stay for that. I wasn't saying, give me more money, or I'm out of here.
At that stage, I think you were fully entitled to saying, no, absolutely not.
I say no, but I never went and said, give me what I'm still on or I'm away. I never said anything like that.
I didn't hold him ransom over, but...
Didn't hold him ransom, but I was always dealt with David Jeffrey and laid back about it. I knew it would always be sorted out. So it was a new person in place, and maybe he just came and says, doesn't want to sing, off you go. And basically that's what happened. Before I 100% would have stayed, like, and
so he took a contract off you?
Took it up. But before he did meet me as well and tried to convince me to stay, and I said, I'll need another couple of days and whatever, but it was genuine. It wasn't messing anyone about. I didn't go and speak to another club in that time. 100% didn't. Yeah. The first person I spoke to was Gary Hamlin on the way home the motorway when it was let go then, because I need a football team here.
Yeah.
So it was never... I was really annoyed and bitter about it for a long time, blaming the wrong people and this, that, whatever, like, but it was probably just between me and Warren Feeney, and that was it. So there was no one else to blame, and if I had been stupid and had the pen and signed straight away, then I would have still been a Linfield player for a couple of years. But maybe looking back now, I went to Portadown and all. I did try and get fit and really wanted to win, but I think the heart was taken out of me from being away from Linfield, and I don't think I was the same player. I had a bad ankle operation, basically.
Leading up to it.
I played the last couple of games through it, so as soon as the season's over, I had to get the operation after his release from Linfield. So basically, Linfield still paid for the operation, but it was like bone drilling and shaving and all sorts. So it took me quite a while to get back playing properly at Portadown. I think I came back too early. I wasn't the same player as I was. Like I thought I was, like, and tried and all. And deep down, I thought I want to win here, but looking back now, I probably wasn't the same fire in my belly to perform as well.
Do you think, looking back on it now, that even if you had signed that contract under Fino, if you had kept that and said, listen, take another few days, and it materialised the way it did, do you think that your relationship with Fino would have kind of hindered the contract and how it would have went for the next couple of years? Because
no, not at all, because I'm not saying nothing bad about him. I knew him in the Northern Ireland squads, and he was dead on. I just took it thick, obviously, because the contract was taken away, so it's sort of, he's the manager, like, so that's him, like. But I speak to Andy Waterworth quite regularly and all, and he says how much he loved playing for Fino and all, whatever, so it would have been, didn't really matter who was the manager. I was going to play for Linfield, end of story. Like, I knew all the board members, all the players, all the staff, so I wouldn't have run through a brick wall for anyone who was a manager there, to be honest. So I wouldn't have had it. I think I would have. I might have even, I was thinking about it in the car now, because you'd be asking me that there, but I'm actually thinking that might have been a wee bit of a blessing as well, like, because that ankle operation I had was quite serious, and I don't think I would have came back at Windsor the same player as I was. Like, I think I was more or less. So probably the right thing, I didn't take the contact away, because I think I was just, it took me an awful long time to get used to it. It's only like the last couple of years to sort of settle down and feel a bit normal, but last in the Ballymena or whatever, just that ankle, I was sore like, but now not playing as much now, it's sort of eased off a bit like, yeah, so I don't think it would have came back as strong. But saying that, Terry Hayes was still there at Linfield. I think got the right rehab.
Well, that's it. They wouldn't have rushed you back. They would have managed.
I was suspended for 3 games at Portadown. In the 4th game, I was sitting on the bench. And that was in August, September. Like,
yeah.
If I was in Linfield, I don't think I'd have been back to by Christmas probably. And but that was
money's better.
I could have. I was just down to play. Like, and I thought I think it feels alright here. Like, so I sat on the bench and then played. But I was just trying to get the fitness up to playing. So I did it the wrong way myself, just because I wanted to play so much. But Linfield, I would have been held back quite a bit. Like, and
yeah,
never know. Like.
Want to talk to you about Ballymena. Mm-hmm. Whatever you saying at Ballymena, that kind of changed my time at Ballymena. Mm-hmm. I think you kind of came into the fold at the time where I was probably on my way out. Me and David weren't probably seeing eye to eye at this stage, and we had a hell of a time. Like, we were pretty much out most weekends after Christmas, and I wasn't really playing, so I was like, I don't really give anymore. And Mac and Denise was our regular on a Sunday. Every Sunday there was a good squad of us at that stage. I think Stephen Michael had signed, Kevin Braniff was there. It was an unbelievable car school of his.
Yeah,
can't forget that. Like,
that's the thing. Now people go around, no, people see me and people say I wasn't right, no, this, that, whatever. Like, but you go around and ask all the Irish League players, never change where I was in. Like, they'll like me. I mean, yeah. Just some supporters don't like me, whatever, in different clubs. But I always just had a ball with any club I was at. Like, and probably Ballymena was probably not being disrespectful, like, but probably Linfield was the best. Portadown were challenging, Crews were challenging, Ballymena were just sort of getting their feet with David Jeffrey, like, so they're probably the 4th best team in the Irish League that I played for, like, but the amount of players that were like Kevin Braniff was an unbelievable player, like, for him to be playing for Portadown for so long, whatever, and we'd love to see him play Linfield with him, but brilliant players. There were some brilliant excellent Leroy Miller was just starting through you and Bushy up front, and all was
one thing I have to say is I think that season where you came in was the first time that we had just qualified for Europe. Yeah. So Ballymena's history, I think. And we go away to Odd. I just came back from Thailand, as weirdly as my brother's here for the first night to have a wee look at this. He took me to Thailand at the time, and we spent 4 weeks drinking our hearts out, to be honest. And came back, I was fuming that David wouldn't let me play, and he started Kevin Braniff and you. Not that you had anything to do with it, but I was fuming that he started Braniff, because I was like, well, I'd pretty much got us there.
I have a similar story, that one.
And in fairness, I've never seen a better football game controlled by 2 players in my entire life than you and Kevin Braniff that night again. Even though we got battered, and as probably said, we got beat 6-0. I think they were a joke, and used to just fit like stroll around the park as if
I loved that game. That was my only good game, I think, at Ballymena. Not even joking. Like,
I was sitting in the stands being like, Michael Gault and Kevin Braniff are unbelievable. I'm not going to kick a ball the rest of the season.
But I also like them once the season.
Honestly, I've never seen anything like it.
No, I enjoyed it. Like, that's a game. That's like challenge yourself against better players, full-time teams. Like, you always just seem to.
But I think that just replicates the quality that used to had, because Kevin had obviously came into the team. Kevin was a bit older than all of us at the time, and you're saying going, Kevin's like a Rolls Royce, like he's cruising about here. But the two used together, I was like, holy, like you're a level ahead whenever it comes to it. And then you were stuck in the mud then for the first game of the season.
I was the same. We were in Europe. We done the we beat Shelburne. It was me and Mackers in midfield. And I remember saying about signing centre midfielders. We signed Oran Kearney.
Right.
But me and Mackers won the St Andrew Cup, one of the best matches in Linfield's history. Brilliant. So a few months later, we were in Europe. So obviously we thought me and Mackers are playing centre midfield here. Came to it, I was dropped. Like, it was unbelievable the year before. Dropped St Andrew Cup. So we played Oran and Mackers.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to David Jeffries too many times. When I didn't play me or drop me ever after that, it was deservedly so. That time there definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
So I went in straight after the match, like literally after the match. I said, "What are you doing here? I'm not sitting here to watch people play." Like, he goes, "We won, didn't we?" And I said, "Aye, but I better be playing in the next leg." Like, and there's no way I'm sitting about watching people here play football. So then the away leg, then we went out to Latvia. Mackers will laugh this one. Mackers was dropped, so me and Oran Kearney played up Mackers. You're a wee bit. He went in the big Davy, and I said, "Fuck, I'm not sitting watching." So Mackers went in the Davy after. So once the league started, then me and Mackers played centre. He could go over that bit of field, like, but I was just. Davy hasn't got too much wrong in terms of team selections or players he's brought in, like, but that time they won the match. So my opinion, I still think he was wrong.
Yeah.
And Linfield's opinion, Davies, they won the match and got through them.
Yeah.
And he played him in the second leg. Maybe he was a genius and had that in his head. He'd be pissed off. And in the second leg, he'd drop Mackers. I don't think he did it. Because he was probably going to not play in the second leg. But I said here, I have to play. You better play me. I could not play, like, especially when I deserved to. Like, I just thought, no way, this ain't happening.
In fairness, when you look back at his overall career, he definitely played those sorts of games. Like, he was that smart enough that he knew it would anger people into playing better.
He did. Either he's a genius or he's just very, very lucky. Like, he's probably as a genius. He was just, at times he knew. With me, he could shout at me, he could scream at me, he could do whatever he want. Other players, you might put your arm around them, not say too much to them, whatever. But he knew how to. I always say to my daddy, that's two things you need to be a good football manager. Knowing a good player, knowing how to treat someone.
Yeah.
And I think he had that in abundance. He knows what a good player is. He knew how to treat me especially. Like, he knew whenever I was being brought down a peg or two, or to give me a wee G up, whatever, or shout at me. Mackers always the same. Like, he could shout at us boys, but other boys, maybe you think, if I shouted at him, I'd lose him. Like, so he sort of knew
what to do.
He always signed players. He didn't just sign players, he signed people as well. Like, that's his whole big speech. So whatever, yes, you're a good football player, but are you right for this football club? Your personality, this, that, whatever. Like, maybe down the lines he could have signed like the Gary Hamiltons or different players at different clubs that we just didn't think they would have fit in at Linfield, and he didn't sign them.
No, he definitely would have had the opportunity to sign most people, and I think most people would have jumped at the opportunity to play for him. Like, looking back on it, I think that period that I had with him was like easily the greatest period of my career, but a lot of people never get the experience that and won't get the experience it now because obviously he stepped away, and it doesn't look like he's ever going to step back in it.
No, I don't think so. Now him and Rose, no, whenever they're happy enough now, he does his
holidays and the
Belfast Telegraph column. Which
we don't talk about the Belltel on this.
Don't get big reveal on that.
Belltel podcast.
He's happy with the column and stuff, and he's happy doing a bit of commentary and stuff and all, going to Linfield matches. His grandkids and all take up his time, so no, I don't think he would survive now in the environment now with all the way the players are now and social media and all the players, how they get on. No,
how do you control that?
I just.
So that's something that you have to control now. So how do you do it? Like, how do you, especially the fact that you have kids that are under 20, these kids are 18, they're not in the first team, they don't have sort of male guidance of like adults who have had the experience of playing in the league. It's like you just have kids coming off a bag, but you don't know what they're doing at the weekend. You're hoping that they don't go out and go mental, probably the way you were at 18.
It's just hard to keep a track of them all, but again, I'm lucky I get to see the vast majority of our players Monday to Friday, and they've got homework to do and assignments to do and exams or whatever, and obviously we come train us in the evening times as well, so it's sort of, you build up relationships. Mine's not all false. Like, Jimmy McGree always shouts me, not for getting too close to the players, this, that, whatever. I see one of them leaves, I'm flipping, what be left? I'm devastated, like, or it's hard not to get attached to them, like, because you've brought those players in, or some have been there before, and you want them to go out and win matches and do really well. It's what they're doing it. And not the big, they're all doing it for me so I can win things, but they're on about that pitch, no doubt, but to try and impress me, to try and do something for me, so they're giving me their time and their effort and their commitment, so which is brilliant. So I try and do my best for them and get them as good as grades as possible and get them on the coaching ladder, and in class, you've seen me and Glenn Ferguson speaking with them all. They've got one of the best Irish League players ever in the classroom with them Monday to Friday, and if they ever need advice, and like, we know when some boys aren't playing, they're not too happy, or if things are going at home, or they split up with their boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. There's girls in their class as well. Like, so you just never know what's going on in people's lives, and if you can help them and you can be, I'm not out there to be in the best role model. I played for Linfield all this time or whatever. The way I came through at Linfield, I've probably been in all their shoes. Like, I came up to under 16s, 18s, not getting the game, and then going on and playing for the first team, so that's what they want to do. So I've lived what they've lived and all, and studying throughout it. So I just try and help them, and I do get attached to them and get very fond and very close to them and just want them to do so well, and they don't do well. Yes, I can see they're frustrated, but I'm just as frustrated and annoyed as they are. I never get annoyed at them. Something like we had the Harry Cavan final there at Windsor. Our Swifts team dropped down to play for the 18s. They were brilliant all season. Came to the big final and they let themselves down. Not for any other reason, just the frogs on the day and didn't play well. But I was more devastated than them, not because we didn't win, just because opportunity was on YouTube and everyone was down watching them. Didn't play well. I ranked 4 or 5 of them after the match. I said, what happened to you? What was wrong? And just I want to get them into our first team and make a career from football, and you're just there to help them and guide them, and just because they're all great young lads, and I just want to see them do so well.
Just want to go back, because after Ballymena, you actually go in the first team well, you'd go to Anna for a bit, step into management at a higher level, with Ballymacash. Is that something that you see yourself going in that direction where you want to be a first team manager again, or are you more than content at the moment to be at the under-20s at Linfield?
Oh yeah, Christmas coming up as well, and actually had a wee think today, just like what do I
I'm glad you prepared for this, because it's not. You look like you just woke up, to be honest.
Having twins does that to you. That's what I was trying to think of as well. Like anything could happen. I've done my pro license there, I've got it now, so I've got all the coaching badges. If you asked me a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, probably yes, I want to manage the Irish League, I want to manage the team, but see if a club came to me tomorrow, or Carrick or Ballymena, Glad, I think I'll just say no straight away. I wouldn't even speak to them about it or ask about it, to be honest, at this moment in my career. And I'm sort of, as I say before, a financial advisor with my dad, and I teach the kids Monday to Friday. I've got my own 2 kids now, 42 years of age, so I don't think I would have the time to go out and manage an Irish League full-time team, or an Irish League club, or even the senior club championship. I don't think I'd have the time. I don't think I would have the patience either at the minute as well. And no, I just don't think so. I loved my time at Ballymacash. I think that was the right time to do it. Just finished playing, didn't know what to do. Chris Kingsby tortured me to go and do it with him, and I said, right, I'll do it. Loved it. We brought the profile of the club up loads. It was exciting. We done well in the league, and brought Rory Patterson in, Darren Murray, and
Couple of maniacs.
it was good crack. On the pitch we were decent as well. Like, but I really enjoyed it and got my teeth stuck in it. If you ask me, could I go and manage an Irish League club now? Absolutely no bother whatsoever. Like, I'm confident in my own ability. It's Irish League football, which I love doing. Yeah, go and take an Irish League club tomorrow. Of course I could, no bother at all. And any of the clubs.
Weird thing is that we've had a couple of people on here that get jobs at us, so
yeah,
you never know what's going to happen.
no,
Gary's back in, taking over your old place, you know.
yeah.
Shirley King snipped his nose in somewhere as well.
The size of it too. No, I could manage an Irish League club, no bother. At this moment in time, I'm very busy with working other things. Would I drop all that there for an Irish League club tomorrow? Probably not. Really happy with what I'm doing at the minute. Obviously, people say it's only under 20s, blah, 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 this, whatever. It's under 20s at Linfield. Yeah. We get first teamers down this on the odd occasion. David Healy watches all our games in the changing rooms. I don't torture him on the phone, ring and text him all the time, but I've no other to speak.
I do. He never replies to me, by the way. That's me not going back.
Because you wouldn't say him for him.
And tried to. There were a couple of problems, complications, which wasn't his fault, actually, as you know, because I probably spoke to you about 100 times, being like,
no comment.
Get this sorted, but.
No, but again, he's there. He's a great mentor. I can ask him about anything. I don't like to torture him or whatever, like, but I like going supporting him on the Saturday. Take the Swifts on the Monday. My weekends are mostly free, so yeah, I really enjoy what I'm doing. Will I be there for the next 10 years? Don't know, but it's great, especially when you get young kids into the first team and kids getting across the water and stuff. It's really satisfactory and delighted for them, and parents and all, whatever. And it's really good. And the group we have working with us, Chris Kingsbury, and I have to mention them all now. I don't mention Chris, Peter Houston and Stephen Croft, Johnny Cummings there was obviously helping with the physio and stuff. Big Mark Alexander. It's a great group. Like, I still feel football. I'm not worried about getting paid in football and getting loads of money from it.
Because you make too much money off your financial advisor.
At the minute, I want to go down the summer where I have a bit of crack and enjoy it. Like, it's not as if I don't take the job serious and want to win games and develop these young kids. I want to go and enjoy my time there as well. You're out of the house for a couple of hours at football. It should be enjoyable. I know you just said about Sturdy King. Like, Sturdy King's a walking heart attack on the sideline, going mental.
Right, so
I think
talk to me about this. Right, so Sturdy King is a walking heart attack. You're right. We've abused Sturdy probably more than most people in life. But there's a recent video of you at Carrick that was videoed by Linfield and put in their social medias, and you look like you're a f***ing stress head. No harm. You're running about shouting at kids all over the place.
I forgot about that one.
It's not a good look.
Well, and that made me saying it.
You actually look like Sturdy with less of a nose.
They actually cut that bit out. As we were in our classroom, nickel, I'll not go too much into it, whatever, but they cut that bit out. But what happened there was basically he was sent home in the warm-up. Right. But he's back in class the next day, and we made up, whatever, like, but that's it.
Did you send him home?
And the war, he was subbing, wasn't too happy, whatever, like, so, yeah.
Here's standards, Michael. Standards, you're Linfield.
No, he's a great young lad. He got the top marks in their class, whatever, like, so. He's a great lad. That night we just both clashed there and just said, I don't want to be here, you can go home. No bother.
He jumped over the wall, just that wee wall.
The wee sub, like, I was like,
straight out, just jogged it.
No, that's right, I forgot about that there. So I was, and Matt Wright does our media stuff at Linfield. He's always asked me to do this, that, whatever. Like, I never say no, like, but
The mic'd up thing was brilliant. I watched it and I was like, that is exactly
You didn't see
who
that.
you
You
are.
didn't see the half of it, like. But if they asked me again, I'd be doing it. Like, it's a tortured enough amount there. People saying, "Where was you?" I was like, "Right, okay." So
He's a teacher Monday to Friday and he's doing that to kids.
no, my language was terrible. I kept spitting. I always have a thing of spit twice with the magpie, and also all I did was spit and swear. And that whole match, people think I'm an absolute dragged up, like. But no, I got some nice things and all from it. And did enjoy it, like. But I think that match, we were missing loads of our reserve team players. They were actually in the first team squad with loads of injuries, so a lot of young players that night. We only drew one each, like. But they made 4 subs, and we had to make 3.
Right.
So we drew the match 1 each.
Did you go in tight?
I went and tied it and won 3-0. So I didn't.
When by default, you got to take them.
I won that,
I mean.
and I scored all 3.
You did.
I put my name down for 3 of the goals, so we got that. Got the 3 points in. But I don't mind doing the media stuff and this, that, whatever. I don't want about chasing it to do it. They asked me to do it, and I said, "I have no bother." But the more I keep asking, I think I'm gonna start saying no, like, because I'm getting my mug on that website too much, and people are looking at me as if like,
That's great beard ears, no.
look at him again. I know I tried to shoot it for a camera, but battery went out the razor.
Well, listen, one of the last things I want to touch on is you spoke about Spike there, being in the classroom with the kids, and you touched on how Spike was probably, if not the best centre forward ever in the Irish League. And as role models and stuff, you got to take into consideration that those kids are sitting with one of the best midfielders in the Irish League too. So I think having people at under 20s level with ex-players like yourself is probably one of the best experiences that these kids can have. And I think that if the first teamers drop down and it's more competitive, having that experience of you being able to guide those kids against men is just ultimately going to make these kids a lot better. So I do think you need to take a wee bit of credit because you are a good.
No, I love it. Like, and Ben Ferguson, he's runs the academy under 15s down, but he helps out with the classroom stuff as well. Like, and we've been a few trips with the kids to Villamere and stuff like that. And
Haven't got there yet, but I'm there. There next year.
You're there next year, but again, Glenn's was twice at there. I was, and absolutely outstanding. Like, and he's working on our centre forwards. And he doesn't have to do it. We just took a few boys out and worked on finishing and stuff. I just take our boys out and tackle the wall. On head first into the wall.
50s with a fence.
Yeah, but again, Jim McGrew's taking the 18s as well. Like, he's the current captain at 39 years of age.
Don't want to talk about him.
He doesn't want to talk about you either. After you couldn't do it and done yourself.
That's load of balls. No, Joey's a good guy. We've done a wee bit of work together. And
there's Jimmy, he's 39. He's still playing there, and he's under 18s manager. And if Jimmy's telling you to do something,
you're going to listen. 100%.
If you don't listen, then you're.
But I think now the fact that Linfield were probably one of the first people to do it. I think Lauren have done it too with Jeff Hughes.
I think it's
Big Albert.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely the way the league needs to go. Players need to be coaching kids.
Yeah.
Can't be parents anymore. Well, some parents are great, don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
it needs to kind of go away where it's more professional and the ex-players are.
I think so. We don't claim to know everything about football, but we know something about our players and done there. I was the last captain, Jimmy's the current captain, and Glenn Ferguson's about, Chris Kingsbury, Nathan McConnell as well with their 16s. So all these boys have played. Andy Hunter actually is helping the 16s as well, so all these boys have played for Linfield. Linfield's the toughest place to be at. People think you look at Linfield, you win everything, it must be the easiest. It's probably the toughest, mentally more than anything. We've seen players coming through, brilliant players we've signed, and just didn't have the mentality to stick at it. And you need to be a special type of person to stay out there for so long, like David Healy, winning so many leagues, and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Jimmy McGrew's the prime example of that. He's still, wouldn't be surprising if he goes and leads the team out against Shelburne here at 39 years of age in the Champions League, and he's probably one of our best players.
Yeah, I'd give him credit too. He's probably one of the best midfielders come across the Irish as well. And
100%.
the way he gets around the game and the way he uses his body, something to be admired of. Like.
Yeah, so if the kids don't listen to those types of players, and know like some Mark Smith and all, and involve Connor Pepper at Cliftonville and the Glenthorne, something similar as well. Like, these are the boys who've been there and done it, and we don't claim to know everything, but if you're giving us some sort of advice that we can see that maybe help, then you'll be a fool not to listen.
Well, listen, thank you. I don't want to drag it out too long. I feel like that was one of the best conversations I've had with you. That didn't involve us drinking or knacking back vodkas.
I know which I preferred.
Well, listen, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you giving me your time, and I look forward to spending the rest of my life with you, Michael, to be honest, because I'm going to torture you continuously for the next 12 years. But listen, just to finish us off, we do hugs in here. You know we love hugs, so
no problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My legs are actually dead here.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Join me next week on the On The Spot Football podcast for probably the best guest, which could be me, more than likely me, but what I want is a favour. Can you give me a lot of questions over the last couple of weeks from guests, who you liked, who you didn't like, anything that you want to hear from, any questions, please jot them in the comments. We will do a wee thing on Sunday night, and I look forward to answering them. See you soon.